Whoop, 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 whoop. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people? It's your podcast mentor, Jonathan Jones, and I'm excited to be here with you today. Like I shared a little bit earlier, I put it out there. I said I had an announcement to make. So as you're coming in, as you're popping in wherever you may be right now, I just wanted to share just the fact and just share that we do have an announcement to make. Okay. Kind of a big announcement, kind of a big deal. But before we get into that, I want to just check in, see how everybody's doing. Just comment over in the chat box how you doing, right? You're doing good, you're doing well, your health is good, right? Just comment over. I just want to see how you doing really quick. Want to see how you doing, want to know how you doing. But without further ado, right, I want to just go ahead and talk a little bit about what the announcement is about, right? And let me go ahead and share my screen. But before we get there, if you have not subscribed to the channel on YouTube, I would encourage you to subscribe. Just type in Jonathan Jones Speaks on YouTube, and then you'll get connected with our page. All right. So over the past, since the pandemic hit, I started a podcast called Beyond the Ball. And I initially started Beyond the Ball because I wanted to help student athletes succeed beyond their degree, right? Wanted to introduce student athletes into information, wanted to make sure that student athletes had an outlet, and wanted to make certain that student athletes would be equipped with tools, with strategies, and finding a way to where they can legitimately be successful. Is why I created Beyond the Ball as a resource, as a hub to cover those topics, to cover those things, even sharing some of my own personal struggles and personal challenges, just to make sure that they could learn from my challenges. And so that by the time they graduate, this won't be an area to where they struggle as well. Okay. So understanding that on Beyond the Ball, we covered different topics. Like one of our last episodes, we sat down with Niesha Butler, and Niesha Butler shared with us a little bit about the fact that she was actually a college athlete. She had the opportunity to play the role of Monica in Love and Basketball, but she couldn't do that because of, at that time, NIL reservations. So she couldn't even participate in that. But that was episode 88. Then even further down the line, on episode 86, we sat down with Taylor Onion, and she talked about being the blooming onion for the Outback Bowl, right? And she talked about leadership and so many other different things. Then we sat down with Leah Clapper. She's a gymnast at the University of Florida, and she talked about branding herself and how she decided to start a podcast while she's in school, while she's still competing. And then even the things that she's doing around diets and around holistic living, going a little bit further. If you're anybody who has ever thought about maybe wanting to start a TikTok, my good friend Erik DeRoo, who is a Division I assistant coach, he talked with us. He gave us the masterclass on TikTok, right? He laid out what you do ultimately to begin to build traction on TikTok, began to niche down. And then we had Marlon Walls, and Marlon talked with us about how to become an entrepreneur. All right. How to become an entrepreneur. And he broke down, what you can do if you're somebody who's looking to generate revenue, how you can position yourself in that way. Let's see. Proud of you, John. Hawker Family Sport and Entertainment. I appreciate that, Tay and the family. I appreciate you all. I appreciate that. And then we sat down with John Mosley from Netflix, Last Chance U. We sat down with Coach John Mosley. He shared his experience. He talked about what it was like being a coach in that environment. And then even in addition to that, we sat down with Transition G, and he just talked about helping basketball players be successful men in women. But last but not least, Marques Colston, one of my favorite Saints of all time. We sat down with him and he unpacked and shared with us strategies of how he's transitioning and even why his website is marquescolston.xyz, because he believes in transitioning beyond and going beyond just where you are and what you're doing. Somebody out there is like, John, what's the announcement? What's the point? What are you talking about? What's the announcement? So all in all, I wanted just to let everybody know, okay, I have appreciated each and every guest that I've sat down and talked to, even some of the guests to where we were planning to have them as a guest on the show, but then for some reason we couldn't make it happen, whatever reason it might have been. But all in all, I wanted to just let you all know that I'm grateful for each and every one. In addition to that, now we're turning a page. Okay, so Beyond the Ball, we're going to put a pause on Beyond the Ball right now in this season. That's what my coach said. He said, let people know in this season. Let people know, Jonathan, let people know in this season. So I'm letting you all know that. However, I wanted to bring you all in close and let you know that we're doing something new. We're doing something different. And that is now rolling out the Your Podcast Mentor with Jonathan Jones podcast. All right. And on this, the purpose of this podcast is because I know that there are a lot of young leaders out there who want to start podcasts. I know there's a lot of small business owners who want to start podcasts or who don't even understand the impact and the benefit of a podcast. So therefore, we've started the Your Mentor podcast with Jonathan Jones for the fact of we're going to help more people start. We're going to help more people launch. We're going to help even more people get in position to monetize their platform. Why is this important? It's important because, as you probably heard me say, podcast revenue in 2020 was projected at $1 billion. By 2025, it's going to be over $3 billion. I keep saying that and keep beating this drum because I want more people to know and understand. Okay. So Your Podcast Mentor is live right now. Today is the launch day. We're official. We're out there. You can get us on Apple. You can get us on Spotify. And then if you like to watch the video content, then you can watch the video content over on YouTube, of course. But I wanted to let you all know, Triple J dog. I wanted to let you all know that this podcast will be a great resource to you if you're somebody who has started a podcast, you're somebody who's looking to start a podcast, or you're maybe somebody who started one and then stopped. So that's what we're doing here. I want to encourage you all once again, if you have not followed the YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Just type in Jonathan Jones Speaks on YouTube and it'll pull right up. But in addition to that, family, you can type in Your Podcast Mentor on your podcast distributor of choice, and you can tune in. All right. I wanted to share that with my family here first. Wanted to make sure that you knew on this announcement. But I would encourage you just to share this video with somebody. Share the podcast with somebody. And if you get a chance to check it out, we already have 3 episodes up. We have our first 3 episodes up. But check it out. And then after you do, feel free to leave a rating. If you're listening on Apple, right? Leave a rating. Leave some feedback, what you liked about the show, what you really took away. And then connect with me on your social platforms at Jonathan Jones Speaks, right? At Jonathan Jones Speaks. And there we can talk about, you can let me know what you thought about the show. You can let me know what topics you want me to cover. And last but not least, we're on day 2 today of the 5 Days to Podcast Challenge. If you have not joined, go to 5days2podcast.com, 5days2podcast.com to get signed up and to get registered. But family, all right, I wanted to be the first one to share it with you. So like I said before, Beyond the Ball is put on pause in this season, but Your Podcast Mentor, now we're here so that we can not only serve and support college athletes with this content, but also small business owners and other individuals who are looking to position their brand so that they can establish their platform and then so they can profit. I'm Jonathan Jones, Your Podcast Mentor. Take care and we'll talk soon.